We're talking 180 rolling projects at any given time in value from 150K and above. So definitely, and look, all of those projects are around construction. They're refurbs, redoing whole floors of buildings, redoing schools, repairing and replacing a lot of the old infrastructure and getting it new and ready for the future.
So plumbers, electricians, carpenters, you name it, right?
Yeah, the lot.
Welcome to Building Ideas, the Master Builders SA podcast. I'm your host, CEO Will Frogley. Join me as I speak with some characters from South Australia's building industry.
A lot has changed in 40 years, but one thing hasn't. Hard work. It's what our members do, and it's what we do for them. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off since 1984.
If you're a subcontractor in South Australia's building construction industry, there's a decent prospect you'd have come across Ventia recently. And to discuss more today, we've got Matt Rogister coming in from Ventia to talk about what's going on in the industry, some of the programs they're running, etc. Matt, great to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks very much for having us, Will. Yeah, look, Ventia work and manage the AGFMA contract, which is the across government facility management arrangement with South Australian government, helping manage over 4,000 sites across SA, especially sort of focused around the health, education, 900 schools and the TAFE, right through to police stations, fire stations, correctional facilities. We do that through 900 subcontractors across state, and we're always looking for more support, especially regionally. Those general builders, plumbers, sparkies out there in the regional areas, it's really good to have them on board. Multiple sites all the way across regional South Australia that needs that support. And then also in the metro, especially in some of the dedicated trades, we certainly need more to be involved. So especially around that general builders, the ones and twos, those schools always need their doors rehung, plastered walls repaired. So it's always good to have a plethora of contractors on board.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll discuss how to get involved if you're not currently a bit later in the podcast. But I mean, you are really right across the whole state, aren't you? And it's, what's the total value of work of that contract? It's very significant, isn't it?
It is. Look, it's a big value contract. It's a rolling contract, so it's year on year. It depends, especially on the project pipeline for the smaller projects. But look, it's certainly in that multiple 100 to 300 million, depending, and even go above that. It's quite a sizable. We're talking 60,000 work orders a month in preventative maintenance in the big months. We're talking 180 rolling projects at any given time in value from 150K and above. So definitely, and look, all of those projects are around construction. They're refurbs, redoing whole floors of buildings, redoing schools, repairing and replacing a lot of the old infrastructure and getting it new and ready for the future.
So plumbers, electricians, carpenters, you name it, right?
Yeah, the lot.
Yeah.
Builders, everything from testing and tagging the equipment through a school. It's just a multitude. And then also we take on and use a lot of design and document companies as well, such as architects, engineers. Every one of our projects needs to go through that line and be design and doc before it goes to tender. So we're certainly able to cover a lot of the people involved in the construction industry, from obviously delivering a tender to designing and getting the engineering done beforehand.
So there's a very significant number of South Australian businesses that you're working with. I guess for those who might be interested in who aren't currently, what's the best way to try and get involved?
So look, definitely through ventia.com, our website. You can follow the links to work with us, and then you can follow the links from that page. It follows you to an AGFMA EOI, which you can fill out the details of your business, everything you can cover, the regions you can cover. That goes through to our subcontractor team, and we assess on each EOI our need in the area. And it's either straight on to onboarding, or we have you there as a registered, ready to go. When we have the opportunity to rise in your area, we'll give you a call and get the onboarding started.
And besides, the obvious that there's a lot of work, what are some of the main benefits for a subcontractor to I guess, work with Ventia?
Yeah, look, for sure. Under the arrangement, we have a 14-day from submitted and accepted invoice to payment. So probably one of the best.
Always a topic of great importance for subcontractors. When are they going to get paid? So that's good.
For sure. So look, and we sit about 98% on that.
98% paid within 14 days?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So look, we pride ourselves on making sure that goes through and to support those local. We understand a lot of mum and dad businesses, and they've got their cash flow, they've got to pay their guys. So look, under this contract, it's an amazing win for South Australian business in the construction industry for sure.
And plenty of work, right? It's just constantly coming through. And
it certainly is. Look, I would say, in the regional areas, it's probably our biggest need.
Is that purely because of lack of trades in the key areas? For example, it might be a school out in the Riverland or something, or wherever it might be that you're lacking trades. Is that the main issue?
Yeah, look, it is. It's, we've also got to look at the fact of, domestic housing, commercial builds, apart from the government infrastructure, they're all playing in the same market for the same dollar. So we've got to be mindful to keep a good pool of guys on board, especially to deliver those projects and those replace and refurbishment style jobs. I mean, with the PM schedules, our preventive maintenance, it's great to look at and get a schedule, prospective schedule for 12 months to see if you're the preferred supplier, so that you can at least see of what the pipeline looks like. We obviously can't make any obligation or sign contracts on those 12 months, but at least it gives you an idea of what you could build in your pipeline, especially for workforce, to make sure you've got the guys there to deliver, obviously seeing what else you would have on your books with builds and et cetera, especially with the builders. But yeah, definitely in the regional area, especially as well, metro, it's those general builders for the preventative and the breakdown maintenance. It's, we understand that a lot of builders are out there, they've got their obligations to the builds they've committed to, but we're really looking for those guys, carpenters in vans, who can go around and do those smaller jobs at the drop of a hat. Got to make a school secure, got to get a door back on. They're the sorts of guys we're really in need of. Yeah,
career opportunities in building construction and specifically in the trades are absolutely extensive. We think we need an extra 15,000 tradies within 3 years in South Australia just to meet demand, with all the housing going on, the big projects that are coming online, like the Women's and Children's Hospital, etc. So I think the last few years that the penny started to drop with parents and stuff that, it's actually a really good career choice, because they're seeing how much trades are getting paid these days and how much work's actually out there. But we're coming from a very far way back, I think.
Yeah, look, definitely will. I mean, we just got to look at when they came out and announced the T2D earlier in the year and what they think the needs will be. I think they were talking 5,000 tradies in the metro area to support. We're talking
lots of Sparkies and stuff like that.
Yeah, correct. So, I mean, AgFirma currently has about 5,000 tradies working on it in the metro area. So when we look at that statistic alone, we know we've got to have an uplift in the next 2 or 3 years to be able to cope with both of those without even adding in women and children's and any other new projects that come online. And not understanding the full pipeline for government either. There is the possibility that there may be a new school redevelopment or something else come up. All of it takes the trades, and they're all competing in the same market. And then we'll also got to look at, rates at each contract, et cetera, that it's going to be quite difficult, I think, to make sure the workforce is there to supply.
Yeah, Master Builders has put a lot of focus on this for obvious reasons. It's something we hear about every day, how hard it is to find good skilled trades. And why this issue is so important to try and sort out is if you don't have enough trades, construction work takes longer, it's more expensive, and quality can suffer as well. So we've got a great program, Born to Build, where we've got a couple of field officers with trade backgrounds that are out there every day in schools and sporting clubs, footy clubs, soccer clubs, stuff like that, promoting the career benefits with our members who run some of the most well-known building businesses in South Australia and started out as an apprentice on their first day. So it's about flipping that mindset to, I want to be like this person, look at their great business, look at their lifestyle. Those visible role models, I think, are crucial to getting more trades.
Oh, look, totally agree, Will. And look, we're here at Ventia, obviously, and our partnership with the Master Builders, we're very, very supportive of that. We're looking forward to helping promote that into the 900 subcontractors around state through our portal. So as the job postings come up for Born to Build, we're happy to, promote that into that group, especially regionally, to try and, get an uplift and get those trades going again out there.
It's so important. And for those who don't know about Born to Build, you can check out the website born2build.com.au, to the number. You can find out about all the trades. You can make job inquiries. And what our field officers can do, they can talk to you about what trade might be right for you. And most importantly, they can get you a job, either with us or with a direct indenture employment relationship, or with another GTO. If it's a trade, for example, we don't offer, or we don't have any vacancies in that particular trade in that point of time. But the priority is we will get you not just a job, but a career.
Yeah, excellent.
It's a really good program.
And I guess Ventia would like to know too, where's your strengths coming through with Born to Build? Are you getting a lot more in the electrical, plumbing, as well as the builders and the carpenters?
By far, the trade that's in the most high demand from young people is electrician. In fact, my field officers tell me that about 75% of our inquiries have been for people who want to be electricians.
Yeah.
So
right.
it's whilst that's great, there's a huge number of trades that we need vacancies filled, and it can't just be the most well-known trades that we target. I mean, there's a lot of other trades that people have no idea what that person actually does, but they're badly needed.
Yeah, and look, I think the difficulty that we'll find, especially with electricians, is I believe it's a 1-to-1 ratio because of the nature of the job. So it's finding those trades that have enough qualified guys, especially regionally, to be able to take the apprentice on and actually be able to grow that pipeline.
Yeah, spot on. The other thing is it's great to build the long-term pipeline of skilled labour, but most members are crying out for skilled labour now. So we've been working quite closely with the state government on a skilled migration proposal for our industry, and we're pretty hopeful that might actually have been announced by the time this podcast goes to air. So that's very exciting because we need those boots on the ground now.
Yeah, look, totally agree. And we know that from what we do with AgFirma, that it's a massive amount, especially from a preventative maintenance, and electrical is quite a heavy and regulatory maintenance that's required on all the facilities. So more of those guys on the ground is beneficial to delivering for the infrastructure for state government.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the skill shortage gets talked about a lot, but I always say if there is a positive out of it, it's that it is such a good time for anyone who wants to get into the industry to do it now, because, I mean, I know it's not at all uncommon for us to have 15, 20 vacancies at any given point in time for first-year apprentices. And that's, compare that to, let's say we're in a recession and there was no construction work going on and someone really wanted to be a plumber or a carpenter or a sparky or a bricky or whatever, and they just couldn't get that opportunity to get their foot in the door.
Yeah, look, Ventia acknowledge that with what we're doing. Whenever we're out there, we do work in close collaboration with regional entities such as UniHub, Upper Spencer Golf, etc. Whenever we're delivering STEM-style problems to the year 10, 11 students and talking about careers, we talk heavily into the construction industry and how they can lean in and look at a trade, look at project management, and grow that next level out in the country. Because obviously a lot of them leave the country to come to the city to do their uni, do their TAFE. It's about how we can keep them where they are and build that workforce within the regional areas.
Yeah, a lot of them come down for sport or any other reason to come to the big smoke. But it's quite ironic, isn't it, that most employers in the city would absolutely love to recruit country kids to be their apprentices, or because they've just got that work ethic that they crave.
Yeah, correct. And I guess the difficulty with that is sometimes the kids crave to go back to the community. So it's a catch-22 when they do get caught here, and then obviously the trade invest here and then they find they go home again. So I guess we've got to be mindful that we're growing both metro and regional at the same time, so that one's not going to be taking from the other, to be able to make sure that obviously the whole state's stable.
Yeah, the regions are super important. I think we're a bit neglected for quite a few years. It's a very important part of our state's economy, but it seems like they've had a pretty good kick since the COVID years. People just appreciate what regional South Australia, as it were, has always offered, but continues to offer in terms of a lifestyle. I think there's a far greater appreciation for that than, say 10 years ago. And even Adelaide's, I think people who live here have a far greater appreciation for what we've got here compared to, say, 10 years ago.
Yeah, look, totally agree. And I know from a lot of my regional visits, especially in that Upper Spencer Gulf, obviously there's a few mines that are slowing down, steelworks that are slowing down at the moment, which is really injecting a whole lot of trades. And we have noticed a bit of an uplift around that region, Port Augusta, Whyalla, with electrical, plumbing, those types of trades looking to join AgFirma now. They're back from the mines and they're looking to start their business. So that is a great positive that's coming from some, I guess, a negative being obviously there's some slowing down in the mining industry. But for the construction industry, that's going to be a bonus.
Yeah, and absolutely. And Whyalla is the place that really has a lot of potential with what the state government's wanting to do with hydrogen. It's potential to really explode in terms of demand for building trades around there, isn't there?
Oh, there certainly is. Look, I was up at the Tactic Conference there in Port Augusta, which was all about Northern Water, all about hydrogen. And look, I think it's a really positive thing that's happening now. And you may just see Whyalla revive again. I noticed I've been there over the last couple of years. There's probably a few more shop fronts shut in the main street.
Is there? Yeah, I haven't been to Whyalla in a while.
So it'd be great to see the place revive again. Just that new injection. I mean, obviously the steelworks has kept it going for years and years, but it's probably time another industry comes in and starts supporting, not just there, but Port Augusta, Port Pirie. They're those three main sort of Upper Spencer Gulf towns that then breed up to Roxby Downs and that whole western region and down into the Eyre Peninsula. So obviously when we look at that, it's almost 2/3 of the state when you look at the land side of the state. So anything that happens over there to keep industry going and obviously the town's growing instead of depleting is a good thing.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. As someone who used to live in regional South Australia, it's something I'll always be passionate about, and it's a great place for people to certainly to get out there and get their careers going. Even if they're from the city, we obviously want people to stay in the country if possible, if they're born there, but it's also a good opportunity if you're a city person to go out there and build your career.
Oh, look, 100%. And look, cost of living is amazingly a big drop. So
absolutely,
if you can start a business as a trade and grow a business out in the regional areas, especially off the back of contracts like AGFM that Ventia have. And look, we're just one of many. There's obviously the SAHA. We also do a GEH contract where there's a government employee housing contract as part of AGMA. So it's every, sergeant in the town, doctor in the town, those houses that government have, and we maintain them. Another perfect scenario for the construction industry to get a built up pipeline of work to do preventative maintenance, breakdown maintenance and that sort of thing. And there's a lot of houses up that way. Roxby Downs into the APY lands up to Coober Pedy and across the Upper Spencer Gulf down to the Eyre Peninsula. So plenty of opportunity for those regional businesses to join, to help start delivering where we're having gaps and then build their business.
So I think the key message we're trying to get out there is there's tons of work, and if you want to get involved, no matter where you are in the state, you need to check out Ventia.
Yeah,
this
for sure.
Contract.
Yep. So head to the Ventia website, ventia.com, and head to the work with us and the subcontractor tabs until you hit AGFMA and put your expressions of interest in.
Fantastic. Well, Matt, it's been great to have you on the podcast, and we look forward to continuing to work closely with you and the team at Ventia.
Thanks very much, Will. It's been a pleasure being here.
Anytime. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me on Building Ideas. For more information on Master Builders or our guests, please visit our website at mbasa.com.au.